been a while since you've seen this machine with the rear wheels on it, and today I want to start working on some shock mounts in the back here. Well guys, my metalworking tools are pretty basic, actually quite simple really. This is my Makita grinder and I've got a cutting disc on it. So I was just making some brackets today, and that's what I'm going to show you guys how I come up with that. So I had a piece of 1/4 inch in the vise clamped in here, and I've just been cutting off pieces and they've been dropping in the snow here. So first thing I need to do is establish what kind of shape I need, and that's it right there. And then I'll trace that out, and I'm using 1/4 inch, but depending on application it could be thinner or thicker material that I use. So for now I'm using 1/4 inch. So I'll trace that out, and to save on cutting time and material, I'll position this in such a way that I don't have to make a bunch of extra cuts. So now this cut here is shared by both pieces, and then if I had a longer piece I would just keep stacking it up depending on how many more brackets I need. And then I take it outside and use that fancy cutting disc of mine and I just cut them up. So up next I want to bevel the edge along the bottom here because I want to weld there, and I'm just going to make it recessed in that area so that the weld has a bigger area to bite into. So I'm just going to mark the two outsides of two adjoining brackets. So I prefer to do all my heavy cutting and grinding outside because of the sparks, and makes less mess and stuff. So I'm just going to change over to my grinding disc now, and then I'm going to head back outside. So another one of my favorite metalworking tools is my Makita die grinder. And I used to use air-powered die grinders, and I found myself waiting for the compressor to build up air a lot, and I felt that it kind of beat the compressor half to death with all its runtime. So going electric, that was the way to go. And it's got lots of power for the little projects that I do. So, and I got this little grinding disc on the end. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to round off these edges, you know, wherever there's a sharp edge like that. Just going to clean all this stuff up and make it look a little neater. So here you can see how I beveled the end to get ready for the weld. And this one already has a bolt hole in it. This is a pair here, they're going to match up. So each side is beveled, and you can see how that turned out. And I want this to be a matching pair, so I'm going to line these two up. And then I'll hit them with a vice grip before I go and I drill this hole. And then the first hole becomes a guide for the second bracket, and then they become a matching pair. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Spacer. Okay, that's not so bad. So I'm getting ready to tack that bracket on. And so this is the shock here, and I don't want any spatter on there, so I'm just going to cover that with some duct tape so that I can spot weld this guy on here. And if you look right in here, you can see I've got some cardboard right in there, and I'm using that as a spacer so that when I weld this all together, it's going to be a little bit on the loose side for disassembly and reassembly, and I'm also leaving room for a bit of paint, that kind of thing. I don't like to have everything clamped together tight and then weld it, you know, because it's not very user friendly later on. So now with the shock removed, I want to go ahead and weld this bracket on. And what I've done is I've taken a piece of threaded rod and I just bolted the two halves together. You can see how I did that. And that's just to help keep it in shape when the welding happens, because it's going to want to get pulled and distorted with the heat. Well guys, that's it for today. I'm out of wire. So anyways, we'll finish this up later. Get some more wire. And anyways guys, thanks for checking in.